women can do, there will be more women out there doing things, and we'll all be better off for it. These powerful words encapsulate the essence of women's empowerment, highlighting the transformative impact of women's achievements on society as a whole. As we witness more women breaking barriers and reaching new heights, we not only celebrate their individual successes, but also recognize the ripple effect that inspires and uplifts future generations. I'm 𝗄𝗶𝗿 𝗦𝘁cie, and welcome to Her Story, a show that honors the voices and journeys of women. We're coming to you from Home Basic Interiors. Our location partner is a trendy store offering the latest furniture and stylish interior decor, perfect for transforming any space into a modern and elegant haven. Our guest today is 𝗤𝗏𝗿, a dedicated mathematics teacher with 9 years of experience at 𝗦𝘁cie, inspiring students in grades 9 to 12. A graduate of 𝗄𝗶𝘁 College with a postgraduate diploma in education in mathematics, she also teaches through TikTok and YouTube vlogs, making her relatable and approachable while showcasing her passion for education. Hello and welcome to Her Story, 𝗤𝗏. First of all, thank you so much for taking the time out from your very busy schedule since school has started now. Let me take you back to when you were a little kid. How were you as a little child?
As a little child, I think I was very active. My father used to tell me I'm like jack of all, master of none, because I used to reach everywhere. I'm in my family a sporty one, not too much into a hard worker who not too much as a book nerd, but I used to be on the average and plus. Basically, I was a naughty kid.
Oh, you were a naughty kid?
Yeah. And if you want me to relate my profession, when I think back, it's kind of funny because like as a child, we used to have this slate around our house. So I used to take back the chalks from the school, and whenever we were playing, I would be taking up the role of a teacher. So with a stick and a chalk. So like basically I was like outgoing kid. And
you were sporty, outgoing, you knew you wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah, and I think most of my teacher remembers, I mean, when I meet them right now, they remember me as a footballer, a very outspoken kid, but not very much into studies. So sometimes, like, because I'm a teacher, when I push up my students in studying, I kind of feel inside me funny.
Because it never worked with you. Now you look at you, tables have turned and you are telling students to study.
But I tell them that you don't have to repeat the history. So you can do better when you study. Yeah, so you can actually fulfill your dream, and academic is the best choice. Because my dream wasn't to become a teacher. I also wanted to become a doctor, kind of my dad's dream. And then like I couldn't achieve that because you need academics, right? So like I landed up in 𝗄𝗏𝗿.
Wow. So. But even to get into 𝗄𝗏𝗿 was quite challenging. You made it sound like if you didn't get in anywhere, you got into 𝗄𝗏𝗿. I didn't get into 𝗄𝗏𝗿, just so you know. I didn't get into any of the Buddhist colleges.
Yeah, but like being a science student, actually 𝗄𝗏𝗿 should not be our choice, you know what I'm saying, because like you either have to become a doctor or an engineer. So me landing up at 𝗄𝗏𝗿, which is basically not a science school, I mean, the first choice for a science student. So I hope I'm not offending anyone.
No, but for a science student, for you, and you're narrating your story, from your point of view, you did not plan to go to 𝗄𝗏𝗿. Although 𝗄𝗏𝗿 would have been dreams for many people, it wasn't for you. Then you landed up in 𝗄𝗏𝗿, and then how did you become a teacher from being a student in 𝗄𝗏𝗿?
To start with, like I think I mentioned earlier, teacher was not my choice. I think I would blame on to the destiny, my parents maybe. Maybe those times when I played as a teacher's role. I did my, when I was doing my 𝗏𝗏𝗿, so I may be long on this story, so you want me to make it short?
No, go ahead.
This
is a place where I encourage you to talk.
Okay.
Talk as much as you can.
Okay, so like started with like, I gave my all actually for the RCC. My subject in 𝗄𝗶𝘁 was quite technical. So like I was doing my maths chemistry, BSc maths chemistry. But then when I had to appear the RCC exam, it was all like English, Songkha, and then socioeconomics, which like I lost in touch with. So like, but then my siblings put me in the tuition. So like I had 3 subjects taken, and I was doing my best. Like if you ask my parents, they would tell me, Sonam is always into watching news. So, and then I was watching BBC News, BBS News. I even ate up 𝗏𝗏 𝗏𝗏 and the books, history book. So like I studied all. I thought I was giving my all. And then it's funny, like my father asked like 𝗏, no? The priest. Okay. So like whenever we have something going on, my father always consults as priest. So then he was asking him, check on Sonam's like progress or success, whatever. And then I was like, one day I was called there, and then the 𝗏 looked at it, and it was showing, it will be success. I was like, oh, I'm already like, I'm putting my 100%, so I think I will get into that 36, right? RCC exam, they select 36.
Okay.
So like I had my confidence, and then in the classroom also, tuition classes also, I was like, I was active, I was learning, and and when the result came out, like I was not in top 36. Actually, it broke me down. Like I don't know whether I should say this or not, but 5 days in my count, I was like totally depressed, and that like. But anyhow, I came out,
reaction there.
and then I thought, okay, I'll give my best next year. And then my parents was calling me. Actually, at that time I was with my elder brother watching my niece, and so when I got a call from my dad, and he said, Sonam, why not try going for this selection for teachers? And then I said, okay, then let's give a try. If the destiny calls for it, I'll accept it. So then we had 3 choices: counselor, and my subject was like maths and chemistry. So I had 3 choices. So I thought like maybe I'll choose counseling, because we already had a teacher in my family, my elder brother. So like, but sadly, counselor, they said no technical subject people. So I was out of it. Then I thought, okay, even though I loved maths, my elder brother is a maths teacher, so I didn't want to follow his footsteps. So I thought, okay, let me choose chemistry. Okay. And then again it happened. So like chemistry was taken, and it was filled, and I landed up with maths.
Just like your brother.
Yeah.
What made you feel like there was a need for you to step out of your classroom and teach math through social media?
So like because when we are in school, it's very limited. The time is very limited, and I don't know, like there is a huge expectation from all over out of the school people, different stakeholders. That when I'm a math teacher, I'm not just teaching my math content, right? Like I'm not always like integration, differentiation, but they expect us to teach more than that, like values and all. So it's quite difficult to tune in, like to blend those things. In one hand, there is a syllabus to complete. In another hand, there are values to teach, there are activities to be done, there are other things and stuffs. So like I feel the classroom timing is not very, it's difficult to make it efficient, especially for the content. Yeah, so, and then if you are talking about, because like we should, when we are coming out of this rote learning, when you want to blend in technology, like when you want to go there as a facilitator and not just like teaching from like one end, time is a factor. So I thought like self-paced learning. However, there is also a drawback for that one. When I started with that, one thing always like hindered me going on that path, like because when we are in a public school, when you are in a classroom, all the student situation is not same, right? So which means some are having financial issue, some are having personal issues, so they are not, this technology is not available to everyone. And I feel like if one child is deprived of that, it is kind of not, say now, not fair for my part to send those. So, but then I feel like, okay, there are other 39, so like why I should come out with a solution to cater to that one. So with this constant conflict, even now I have this, then I like close my eyes and then I just post it in the TikTok. Of course, I didn't share that TikTok link to my friend, to my children. We have the social forum, so I just send them the raw video, not the TikTok link. Because again, it's kind of funny, you know, you have so many thoughts coming up. I feel like if I share my TikTok link, students might get distracted. I may be encouraging them to use TikTok. So like TikTok is there, if they see it, if not, it's okay. But however, like I'm sending them the raw video, right? So just the video. So, but then that actually started. My students were asking me questions and also like, when I did not have my iPad, like I used to record it and then writing in the paper and all, but then suddenly and after some time I had my iPad, so it became so easy for me to solve their doubts. So yeah, it started like that.
So now you put in so much thought into all of this. Do you realize that you are one of the few pioneering teachers who is bringing education to social media in our context, in this country at least?
I'm not very sure because I'm not too much into social media. If you ask me about what's the running trend in TikTok, I won't be knowing. So basically, because I started because I wanted to clear my students' doubt, and sometimes I get the same doubt, so it's kind of a drag. So and then when I was doing this survey with my students, I asked them which social media they use frequently, and I found out like TikTok was one of it. And so I thought, okay, why waste time solving again and again? Like I'll just keep it or store it somewhere. So then I just randomly posted in the TikTok forum, and it's kind of funny. Like after posting 10 to let's say 10 videos, there were only fewer views. But I was not worried about that because my intention was just like if someone's having problem with the math thing, then they can come back. Then like there was a trend on of course I love like something, of course I am whatever, you know. So
yes.
so like it was in one of the days when we were doing correction, and then this is a time where teachers, they really talk about students. Like, what's happened to this boy? What's with this answer? Like all of this cursing and all. so like we wanted to take a break because in one way we were feeling sad because why? It's as if like I did not teach anything. Like why are my students not doing well? Am I not doing good? Like, am I in the right profession? So like all of this thought, yeah. So like, and moreover, like when my class is not doing good, if other class is doing better, then there's like, definitely I am the problem, not my students. So like, this is kind of depressing actually. So then I thought like every one of us like math teachers, we were all feeling bored, depressed, talking like cursing our students, cursing ourselves. And then I thought, okay, why not do this? I always wanted to do that. So like, then I started with, I'm a math teacher, of course I'm strict, so that I recorded that with my friends. And then funny is from then when I uploaded it in my TikTok, it got viral. Then from there, I think people watched the tutorials. So then I thought, okay, sometimes there should be a funny thing to let the other students know that there is a resource available.
It's all about being relatable. And you were already accessible. Anybody could have watched your video, but the fact that you were doing a trend made you relatable, and kids loved those kind of videos. So yeah. So now, what are some challenges you notice in your professional life? What kind of students do you face? I'm going to ask you the simple question: what is a big challenge for you as a math teacher, as a female math teacher in the country?
Okay, but before that, before I answer to that, I just forgot. It just popped in right now. You were asking about the digital teaching, right?
Yeah.
Luckily, this TikTok actually caught the attention to someone in the curriculum department. And last year, I attended a digital content creator. So it's an ongoing thing. I was like, I said like, I was in a Zoom meeting, right? So there is the 𝗂𝗶𝗁 website where we get space for online teaching basically. So I was attending that, and I think there are good times coming up.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, digital content creators. Okay, so I was called last year in the December month, and I attended this workshop where like a few teachers were called up, and we worked on digital content creators. So it's a self-paced learning platform. It's not access to students right now because we are working on it. So I'm just giving you a good news that
Wow, that's going to be so
yeah,
helpful. Wow, and
But
it's
of
coming up.
course, yep.
Not yet.
But I think government has to do a little bit more work. Make this resource come into play for the students. I mean, like I just told you earlier, no, some students are not able to afford this digital device. So digital divide is still existing in our country.
Yeah, you're right.
This challenge would be.
That's one big challenge, the digital divide. What about in your classroom? What kind of students do you have? And which ones are your favorite kinds of students? You don't have to name names, but the types of students. They're eager learners, they're distracted learners, they're curious learners, there's ones who are overconfident. So what kind of students are your favorites or least favorite?
There are more than one. So one kind of student would be someone who never gives up. So even if you are not performing well, you are always trying. Who asks me lots of doubts. So someone who always keeps me busy. So those are actually my motivator.
Okay.
So like, of course, toppers are one of them. But then more than that, I like those students who are never giving up. And he or she who is always trying, who asks me doubts even in social media, in the classroom. So these are someone whom I really prefer, because those students gives me motivation and energy. Otherwise, like when I'm giving my best, and if I see some students like slogging off or not listening, not even trying, I really feel irritated. And I sometimes tell my students that, you know what, teachers are also not robots. So when we get in the class, we forget our personal stuffs, right? Like I had one incident, maybe in 2019, I lost my grandmother, which like she was all for me. Like I was working in 𝗪𝗪. So whenever there is a vacation or 2-3 days holiday, I used to rush to my home back in Punakha where she's staying. So I used to rush there just to see my grandmother, right? So when she passed away, I couldn't take leave more than a week, right? And then I was with my class 12 students. So I couldn't I couldn't go inside the class with the low energy, and then I couldn't do that because
you couldn't carry your personal problems into the class.
Like, we had to go, like teachers like us have to go with this kind of situation. So it's very difficult to switch. However, so that's why like I could go through that phase. So I kept my personal stuff out of the class, and then when I go there, I have to be a fun teacher so that my students, a fun and serious teacher, right? I have to deliver my lessons so that my students understand. So like when we go with all the energy and then go to the class just with one goal, that so that my students would understand what I'm teaching, and then when I see like few students who are not even trying to listen and giving attention, I feel actually it's not I think the anger word is not the correct word, because deep inside me I feel sad. I question myself. Why am I doing enough? Like, what should I do to get his attention? Because like I don't know whether I'm going in the right direction or not, but my friends tell me that I'm too sensitive. Like one child or two children should not affect me. But then I really don't like if even one student is not giving attention to my teaching. I feel really sad. But then I don't know why am I like this, but yeah, that's the like difficult, the difficult, most challenging and difficult part of my life when I meet such students.
What about the most rewarding part of teaching then?
I get messages from some of the students saying like they liked maths after my teaching, and and then especially on Teachers' Day, I think that's the time when students, they feel free to express their feelings. So I get messages, positive messages, so that actually motivates me, or I feel like, okay, I'm on the right direction. I think I'm doing good. So like my grandmother always used to say, 𝗪 𝗪𝗿 even though she hasn't gone to school, so I feel like, okay, I'm doing good. And one incident would be like, it was last year or before last year, I don't remember properly, but my English teacher friend in my school, she was sharing me about the essay she was correcting. And I don't know, usually this question would not be there in the essay, but she was sharing me in that manner. She said like, someone had a question given to student, like write about your favorite teacher, and most of them actually mentioned me. So, and they were particularly, I don't know, is it self-posting? No, right?
I was just thinking, how amazing.
But like actually this keeps me alive to this day, and like because I don't know, it did not come to me straight from the student, but my friends, the English teacher, that one teacher actually mentioned it to me. Did you know that? And then it was like, and then she said like, most of the students wrote me and they were saying I taught maths in a fun way, like there were games and all. Then I could relate. Yeah, I think I brought some game stuffs into related to the content. So I was like, oh, this, then I thought, okay, this works. So like it was a learning for me. But having them mention me, despite knowing that the English teacher would be checking, I thought, okay.
If you could make any change in how we teach or the whole system of education, because you're a teacher, what would that change be? In the field of math specifically, how do you think, here's another way I could, how do you think we can make children love math?
There are lots of things going on in my head, so like I'm trying to figure out and putting into proper words. It's just not maths. The whole school is also involved. The whole people taking care of the school, the people sending the children to the school are also involved there, right? I think it starts with the mindset. Thinking maths is difficult, and thinking that if you score less, it means you don't like maths. So I think we should start from changing the mindset.
I see.
Maybe I'll go out of topic in a while, but please bear with me. So to the particularly coming to my math subject, I feel like the mindset is one thing, and of course the curriculum as well, and the digital divide, because there are a lot of things we can do. Like I was mentioning earlier about why students mentioned me in that essay and the reasons they were giving. You know Monopoly game, right?
Yeah.
So actually most of the students were, they did not know about that game while I grew up playing that. So not all of us are fortunate. So that's why like I had a subject, finance, household and finance. So I thought, why not bring this game, and while they play, we are talking about the money they are, the amount they are getting, they have to manage it. So I'll introduce the game and also like the subject. So of course time is the factor, but it worked well. And then they liked the game, and this game and fun is one factor which actually motivates students to learn.
I'm sure.
And that's why I don't really like teaching 11 and 12. I also want to teach 9 and 10, because the curriculum for 9 and 10 actually I can align with, I can think about innovation. I can relate the concept with the real life situation. Whereas 11 and 12 are mostly integration and differentiation. So it's like
you don't have a lot of space to be, and you they're creative with it more. And it's good that you make math relatable. To us, when we were growing up, math was a subject that was not relatable to us, other than the addition and the subtraction. I never thought I would use math ever again, and my teacher never tried enough to make us see that math is practical. Math can be applied real life. And I think this is what you do. You make children see how math is relatable, how math is fun, how math is practical, how math is real life. And I think that is why children see your efforts and appreciate you for your efforts. I'm going to give you a sentence and you have to complete the sentence in your own words. Sonam Zangmo is
adjustable.
Adjustable. Okay, all right, perfect. So now we are done with this segment. I'm going to now go to the next segment, which is a short question answer.
My brother is planning to treat me with pizza because it's Women's Day, so I'll go with pizza. Difficult. Rewind. Mountains. Space. I'm unpredictable. Usually I go to a quiet place, spiritual place.
As we conclude today's episode of Her Story, we've been truly inspired by our guest, a passionate math teacher who embodies the spirit of perseverance and dedication in the field of mathematics education. Her journey reminds us of the crucial role that women play in shaping the future of STEM fields, breaking down barriers and inspiring the next generation of mathematicians and educators. Remember, your story is a part of the greater narrative of change and progress. Until next time, keep writing your own Her Story. Bye-bye.
Bhutan is a kingdom of stunning landscapes and a pristine environment. We pride ourselves on being the green Shangri-La.